Salute, 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 Mel Knight Sports in the building. Once again, we got my co-host Micah here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk some MMA. We're gonna talk a little boxing as well. Like and subscribe, you feel me? Hit that bell icon for more notifications. You feel me? Um, Comment again. You know what it is, man. So of course the biggest fight this weekend was Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. A goofy fight, personally. Personally, I thought it was a goofy ass fight, but it was entertaining. I caught glimpses. I caught glimpses of certain rounds. Certain. I was driving at the same time, so I was watching it. And I got home and I watched like the last two rounds fully. But what was your opinion on the fight?
Uh, I mean, in my opinion, it was just well, I'll put it this way. I actually talked to someone about it today while I was
Hmm.
playing the game, and he was just saying like Jake is doing a good job picking these fights.
Yes.
So every fight that he's had has been, or except for Tommy Fury, which is the only boxer that he's fought and he lost.
Hmm.
Every fight has been with a guy, an old MMA fighter who's either retired or is on a string of losses and on the way out the door. I mean, I know Nate Diaz just beat Tony Ferguson, but Tony Ferguson has not won since
No.
2019.
Yeah, no, you can't even call that a win. I mean, he looked like Tony just obviously I'm not saying he threw the fight, but Tony looked like he just laid down. You know what I'm saying? Like he just it didn't look like it was someone fighting. It just looked so bad. So yeah, I mean, Nate is was on his way out, man. I mean, did he get dropped?
Against Tony Ferguson?
No, against
Oh,
Tommy
against
or
Nate or against
yeah,
Jake rather.
Jake, yeah. He did,
Yeah, he
right?
got dropped once.
Yeah, dropped. Yeah. Well, I was watching. I threw it on, and then I saw him get his gloves checked. And they rub the make sure the dust is off. But I saw that my dad he got dropped. But honestly, man, Nate wasn't doing. I mean, he was. Listen, he was hitting him. They had no the power. He would throw shots, and I just noticed this, man, bro. I just noticed this a lot. But MMA dudes, bro, for some reason they don't throw their punches with their legs. Like at least Nate, there wasn't the hits slaps, just like there was no power in them, no power in them
Just Nate.
whatsoever.
I would say Nate. If
Is it just
he
Nate?
listen, if he fought like Conor McGregor or Dustin Poirier,
Okay,
if
yeah,
Jake
yeah,
fought one of them, there's absolutely no fucking way, bro.
yeah. They would
There's no way they would
they would
crush.
knock him out. They'd probably knock him out.
They would crush Jake. Jake, he fought Floyd Mayweather. Connor did.
Mhm, mhm.
He fought. I mean, he did get finished, but that was really because he gassed out.
Yeah, he gassed out. People really got to realize, it's 12. I think it was scheduled for 10, but it's a
It
12
was
round
10.
sport. Okay, yeah. Well, he got stopped in the 10th round, but
Yeah.
I think it was scheduled for 12. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
your
you might be
cardio is
right.
different. The cardio is different, but yeah, I mean, Connor's at least boxed, and
He was an Irish champion.
oh yeah, he used to like box like that. That's the
Yeah.
one sport he did. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, you put him in the ring with Dustin, man. Oh my goodness, I think Dustin would probably knock him out cold. Um, Probably. I mean, the thing is, again, MMA and boxing they're different sports, man. They're different sports, and you can't just jump in it and expect to be successful. But at the same time, Jake is not a professional, or he is. I guess he's what is he? He is a professional. He had a professional fight, obviously, with the
Hmm.
boxer. So
Not,
he had a,
that
you know.
really all of
Hmm?
his fights have been professional fights, gotten
Right, right,
paid.
right. Right. They've been paid, but only one of them was ranked though, which was the Tommy Fury fight. And
Okay.
he lost. He lost. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's hard for you to just jump into a sport that you've never done. Like in like you might spar in MMA in just hands,
Hmm.
right? But it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You might be setting up for certain things, and boxing is so different, man. And that's why. It's rare to see these MMA dudes defeat the boxers, even though it does happen. I think what is his name? Silva beat Chavez Jr., right?
Hmm.
Vitor Belfort beat Holyfield, which but Holyfield shouldn't have been in the ring in the first place.
Holyfield is how old? Like almost 60.
Almost 60 years old. Yeah, and it is. I mean, he knocked him on the first round. Like as soon as he got in, we're like, yeah, he shouldn't have been in there at all. Like from the jump.
He
Um,
looked old, bro. He looked like an
yeah,
old man.
yeah, looks like a grandpa, bro. Looks like a straight grandpa. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not good.
Probably
Um,
didn't train either for a long time.
oh yeah, no, the ring rush was definitely there. The ring rush was definitely there. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no way. I mean, you're almost 60 years old. First of all, you shouldn't be in the ring. You shouldn't be doing these type of strenuous sports. Salute to Valiant Thor. He says, "Get ready, prepare to be amazed as Errol Spence, the boxing prodigy, pushes the boundaries of human potential with the revolutionary, revolutionary Neuralink implant." Oh, you disrespectful as hell. You disrespectful. Yo, put some respect on Errol Spence's name, bro. Put some respect on. Valiant Thor says, the moment Arrow steps into the ring after the Neuralink implant activation, it will be a symphony of speed and precision, leaving his opponents bewildered and audience utterly spellbound. I doubt that. I think obviously I know you're joking, but I
Wait,
think if Arrow's you saw
he's
the Arrow
gonna.
Spence fight, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So okay, we're gonna talk about that. But listen, man, put some respect on Errol Spence's name. Styles make fights, right? I don't think he should take the rematch. But what was your opinion on the fight, man? I didn't get yours opinion yet.
Um, it was so insane, man, because it's just levels, bro. It was just levels. Terrence Crawford never even had a moment where he threw an off balance punch.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's really insane to see the level that he's at, man. I mean, they're two destroyers, bro, and it did not look like a fight
No,
where
it was his
where
easiest fight. It was his easiest fight.
yeah,
It was
yes.
his easiest fight.
I
I
mean, you
mean,
have to give credit to Earl Spence still
oh
because he
yeah.
never like was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be safe, or
See,
I'm just gonna get
I'm
out
glad
of
you said
there."
that. I'm glad you said that
I mean,
because
he kept fighting the whole time.
yeah, Errol Spence said or did what he said he would do: stand up, toe to toe, and bang with Bud. He see most people say it when the before the fight, but Errol Spence actually did it. He actually did, and that's why you saw him lose the way he lost because he fought Terrence Crawford, and I don't think there would have been any way for him specifically to fight Terrence Crawford and win, but he fought him in a way that was going to get him stopped, and obviously it did happen. Valiant Thor in the chat says Errol Spence's reflexes will be lightning fast, and his strategic maneuvers are, bro. Like,
He's
relax.
trolling, bro. He's
Yeah,
trolling.
I know he's trolling, but like, bro, you really have this much time? He said, to everyone's astonishment, a fleet of UFOs descended from the sky. Bro, okay, listen, man, but I mean, it was listen, but you know what's funny? Well, it's not funny at all. But remember, we again, me and you, I think our first episode we were talking about the fight, right? And I told you how I thought it would go down. I didn't see it going down like that. I didn't see it being such a one-sided beatdown. I did
No,
not
I did not.
see that. I did not.
I
And if
thought it was gonna be like more like maybe not stylistically, but like as far as back and forth, I was gonna be closer
yeah,
to like what you watch with like Canelo and Triple G in the first fight,
uh,
or like Duran and Sugar Ray,
right. I thought
like
it was
in
gonna
the
be more like I thought it. Appreciate it,
a
bro.
war. You thought it was gonna be a
Appreciate it.
war.
Appreciate it, Valiant Thor. Yeah, man, stay tuned. But what was I gonna say, man? I thought it would look more like Sugar Ray Leonard versus um Duran number one. I thought that's what it would look like.
Hmm.
Except at the end, I thought Errol Spence would be stopped. Um, I thought Errol Spence would be stopped anyway, right? I like the way it happened was just, for people watching, right? Go back and watch my video. I did it about a year ago, a year and some change. I said, can Errol beat Bud? Right? Got over 100 comments. Everyone going crazy, like, oh, this is not. You're asking the wrong question. I said, no. The style matchup. The style is listen. It's not that Errol Spence is a terrible fighter. It's not that he's not a dog. It's not that he's not pound for pound, right? It's the style matchup. Because of the styles, Terrence Crawford is a. Oh, so okay. Valiant Thor says Errol Spence will become not just a boxing legend, but oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, he trolling like hell. But it's the style. Terrence Crawford is a counter puncher,
Hmm.
right? He's a counter puncher. He's gonna catch you coming in. And Errol
Yeah,
Spence is someone that has
a
high
hunter.
work rate. He's a hunter. He's gonna chase you down. And I've always said this: a boxer like Terrence Crawford, if you're gonna chase him, it is game. It is sweet. I'm telling you, because I felt like that, and I'm telling you, you have someone chasing you. That's what you want because you're gonna use their energy. No one, you're gonna use their energy against them. You're gonna have them coming in, and by the time they come in and they're trying to get their jab off, you'll if they're chasing you, you'll always be able to find an opening right when they attack. Always, and you saw that when they fought. You saw that, and it's just but the way he did it. I thought in the second round, once he got dropped, that was it. That was he was embarrassed. He was hurt. He was hurt, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't able
Hmm.
to do what he wanted to do. And it was just downhill all from there, man. It was downhill. You could tell he was just embarrassed, man. He was hurt, man. But again, like I said, salute to Errol Spence, man, because no one could take away what he's already done. What I'm saying, no one could take away. He was pound for pound number one, and Spence was pound for pound number two. Number one and two faced, right? Um, Most people actually took him off the pound for pound list, which I understand because of the way he got dominated. Like if it was a closer fight, obviously I think people would have kept him on. But because he got dominated like that, I think they dropped him. But of course, what I'm saying, if this was Canelo or anything like that, they would have kept him on there, same place. You already know.
Yeah,
But
I feel like
in
he's
your
about to
opinion,
fight
he's about to fight
Charlo.
Charlo. I think Charlo going to
When is
stop him
that
too.
though?
That's September. I think September 30th or something like that. You should watch that
Yeah,
fight, man. That fight's gonna be great.
yeah. I
I
mean, I
think I
plan on
think
it.
Yeah, I think what's his name? Charlo's actually gonna stop him. I think this might be the first time Canelo gets stopped.
Could be. I mean, based on that last fight, it was
Yeah,
close.
he's on his way out. I mean, he's on his way. He almost has 70 fights, man. He almost has 70
That's
fights as a
crazy.
33-year-old.
Because what, he's 60 something and two?
60 something and two. That's right. Something like that.
Yeah.
I know he has two
It's like
losses, one
63
one
and two.
yeah, yeah. One, two losses, one draw. Um,
Oh,
so
yeah.
he has a lot of miles on him. And dude, he's young. He's only 33. Terrence Crawford is older than him.
Wow.
Terrence Crawford is
Wow.
30, 35.
I mean, that's right. What's his name? Shakur calls, I mean, it's calls Terrence his mentor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, that's
And
crazy.
that just begs to differ. How good is Shakur if he's sparring this dude Bud every often in these training camps? You know what I mean? Like I think this is a testament, man. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But just the way he did Arrow, man, was just so brutal, and it actually made me feel bad for him, honestly. 'Cause I love both boxers, man. I love both boxers, and I didn't want to. I knew that Bud would win. I didn't think it would go down like that, but I just didn't want to see one of the boxers everything they work for just go down the drain like that. But
For
go
some
ahead.
reason, it says that Canelo has two draws.
Does he does he have two draws?
Nah, I feel like
No, that can't
that's,
be right.
yeah, no, this is wrong. This gotta be wrong.
Is that box rec?
This is marshallbot.com. Hold on.
Mm-mm.
Hold
Yeah.
on, hold on. That doesn't make any sense. I
Oh,
know he has.
bro. No, 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 no. He does have two draws. When he was younger, he fought to a draw when
That's
he was
right. That's
younger.
right. That's right.
Yeah, he does. He does have a draw. What we don't know his name is some cab driver in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, yeah. He does have two draws though. He
That's
does have two
racist. That's
draws. I mean, a dude that's not very good. That's what I mean when I mean cab driver.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he does have two draws. But I mean, if he loses this fight, I think he's gonna call it quits. I don't see, I mean, he's already. I think he is, and I'm not a Canelo fan, right? But I think he's a Hall of Famer. Um, and I think he's one of the greats. So if he loses this, I think he'll probably retire, or he might have one more fight. It just depends, man. He has a lot of miles on him, man. I mean, that's a lot of fights. You're 33 and you almost have 70 fights. That's a lot.
Yeah.
In today's climate, that's a lot of fights. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but I mean, we just got to see, man. I'm expecting Charlo to actually knock him out, though. Definitely. That's just what I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, but what is next for Jake? Who I think they're talking about. Wait a minute. You know, I saw today. I saw Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor thing. That's not real, right?
I mean, no. So Connor has to fight Michael Chandler because of the Ultimate Fighter. Like
All
he
right.
has to fight him. So uh, I saw a guy talking about it, and I'm forgive me because I don't remember his name. I watch him sometimes, but he was and I agreed with him. He was just saying that he doesn't necessarily think Connor always runs his Twitter account
Mm,
because
okay.
because of the things that he was saying. He was just like, um, he was essentially just like basically F Chandler. Let's make. He wants to do on Twitter. Basically, what he's saying that he wants to do a fight with Gaethje to get the BMF belt. Excuse me, and then he wants to have the trilogy with Nate Diaz. Uh, and then he wants to fight him for the BMF belt, which to me is like it's good. It's well, number one. I mean, excuse my language, but it's just shitty to do because I mean, you basically gave your word. I do believe that he's under contract that he has to fight
I feel
Michael
like,
Chandler.
yeah, I feel like it would be under contract. I feel
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, and
You know what I'm saying?
to me that doesn't really make sense, bro. If
Yeah.
you, I mean, just the way that he's saying it is just
Hmm.
like, okay, I want to fight Nate for the BMF belt. I mean, it is what it is, though. I mean, I don't know why he even wants the BMF belt, if I'm being honest with you.
At this point, I think he's given up on the championship. I mean, he can't beat either of the dudes, right? Obviously, he doesn't think that, but
I
I would
mean, he
assume.
could, maybe he can beat. Yeah, I mean, bro, we still if Poirier if
I
Poirier
guess
beat
you.
him, if Poirier beat him, no, I don't believe that he could beat Gaethje because Gaethje came into that
Yeah, no, no.
fight freaking
Gaethje. Did we even
measured.
talk about that? Did we even talk
No,
about
we
that? We
didn't.
didn't.
We did not.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you my opinion, then I'll get yours. My opinion of that fight, man. Gaethje hurt Dustin early. To the leg. I think it might have been like the first or second kick to the leg. You could tell because Dustin immediately switched stances, and he
Hmm.
was and he was heavy on that one foot. He immediately was hurt. Obviously, did a really, really, really good way of good process of hiding it. But
Hmm.
I thought that slightly hindered his movement. Not much, not to the point where you could visibly see it, but you could tell he was hurt. That foot, and I've heard people say like Gaethje is a madman with the kicks, right? He'll just throw
Hmm.
some crazy kicks,
Hmm.
right? And the crazy part is as well, the way that Gaethje knocked out Dustin, I thought Gaethje would actually get knocked out that way because he was dipping to his left or to his
Yeah,
right a lot,
it was crazy
and
because Masvidal was yelling at Dustin to throw a head kick, and
oh yeah, well he was
yeah, and
throwing kicks though. He
he
was throwing
wasn't
head
throwing to
kicks.
the head. Not really. Dustin wasn't really throwing head kick.
Oh, was he throwing it to
Dustin,
the body?
he was
Well,
throwing
he
it
was
more to the legs.
nah, bro. A couple times, Gaethje
Um,
was eating the. Well, no, he wasn't even eating them, but Dustin was throwing it to the head slash like body area. Like, yeah,
well,
yeah, a couple times.
I think he may have thrown it once, and I just don't remember. But from what I remember, he wasn't really throwing it to the head. And I wanted him, and the reason why I'm adamant about the way I am now because I actually was looking at it and I wanted him to throw head kicks. You
Mhm.
know, um, but Masvidal was yelling at Dustin from the crowd, was yelling at him to throw a head kick because he was looking at the way that Gaethje was doing it as well, and Dustin was not blocking those head kicks very well.
Hmm.
He was kind of only really blocking it with one arm. And you can't do that. You need to block a kick like this. Like you need to
Like
basically post it off this arm. Just one hand is not going to stop it. Like even if
we saw
just
that with
this
Kevin
won't stop
Holland.
it.
We saw that with Kevin Holland, where all he was doing was this to Wonder Boy, and Wonder Boy broke his arm with like that,
Yeah, because you need to stop it. You need to stop the You need to stop it with this hand. This hand slows it down, and this hand like
like
blocks
that.
it. Yeah, this hand actually blocks a kick when it lands because the one hand is not going to stop a kick.
Okay.
Like a full force kick.
Mm.
Um, but basically what happened was, it wrapped around and caught him in the back of the head, and just knocked him out, girl. That's
Mm.
really, that's all she wrote essentially.
Oh, sure.
Um,
Oh, sure. It was a
yeah,
good fight while it lasted.
it
It
was a
really.
really it was a really good fight. Yeah, but I didn't catch that. I probably have to watch the fight again, but I do
Yeah,
believe that
he
it's
was,
not
he
out
was.
of the realm of possibility that Dustin's leg was. I mean, he hurts everybody with those leg kicks.
Yeah, man.
Everybody.
Like
Even
you got
Khabib
a.
was saying it. Khabib
Oh
was
yeah.
saying like, yes, his yeah. Khabib said that his legs were messed up, man.
Wow.
When Justin threw those kicks to his leg. Justin, he talk. I've heard him talk about it, but I'm pretty sure that he has, for his size, he has like the densest bones in
Really?
the UFC. Yeah,
Jeez, bro.
yeah. I
I mean,
mean, he
those
just has the
kicks are
densest
just
bones.
crazy, man. The amount of pain that can be amassed with these kicks, man, is just
Hmm.
crazy. I mean, I've checked like literally such a soft kick, and my shins were like like it hurt so badly. Like
Hmm.
my of course my shit is not conditioned for it at all, but like I can only imagine, man. Like, well, for number one, it's gonna break most people's. It's either gonna break it or they're gonna be immobile for at least a day or two. Like the
Well,
average person.
it won't break it, but I mean, you're more likely to break your leg checking your kick. I mean, you're more likely to break your leg having your kick checked, I should say.
Okay, okay, like
Yeah, yeah.
Weidman.
Yeah, like Weidman, like Silva, like Connor. I mean, Connor actually
Mhm.
wasn't a check. Connor actually went into that fight with a microfracture, which was
Oh,
just,
really?
yeah, which I understand. Like he did not want to. In his mind, it's like, because it's Connor. In his
Yeah,
mind, that's going to be like it's like the most
like,
highly anticipated fight.
mhm,
How could I
with the
pull out?
Impact
And
Cup.
he's a war, and he's a warrior.
Mhm.
Man, we got to talk about something else too that I just thought about. But he's just a warrior, bro. He has that mentality, so he's not gonna pull out.
Mhm.
I don't think he's ever pulled out of a fight. If I'm being honest with you, I don't believe Conor McGregor has ever pulled out of a fight, due to injury or anything like that. But yeah, uh, Gaethje, he messes people up, man, with those leg kicks. I
Those
mean,
kicks,
and
man. It just, yeah.
it is such a crazy development in the sport. So
The fact
if
that
you
he
look at
won.
like, well, no, I'm just talking about leg kicks.
Oh, okay.
Like if you look at Michael Bisping, he went his entire career without taking a calf kick. He took leg kicks, but to the thigh. Like he went his
Really?
whole career. Yeah, he went his whole
Whole
career without
career.
taking a calf kick because it just hadn't entered the sport yet. I can't
Okay.
even remember right now who was the first guy to do that.
Mhm.
Um, but if you look at guys like Khalil Roundtree, I mean he did get knocked out in this fight, but I mean if you look at when he fought Robbie Lawler, he freaking destroyed Robbie's legs. He couldn't move. He Khalil Roundtree was a guy he left for a little bit, went to Thailand, trained Muay Thai, came back and had a completely different style.
Wow.
So he had a very like Muay Thai like style. He was a killer kickboxer. He's a world class, you know, world class level kickboxer. You
Mhm.
know, so
Mhm.
he destroys people's legs. Destroys people's legs and just pieces people up. And um, but yeah, man. But that the development of the leg kicks is just it's very interesting because you can't take too many.
Yeah.
If you
No.
take like two or three, you're compromised for the fight.
Compromise, like you're
You're
done.
very compromised. The only guy who I've seen take them and just keep marching forward is Max Holloway. Like that's the only guy who I've seen take those leg kicks and not really be compromised from it.
Wow,
Yeah, his mind,
wow,
bro. Max Holloway's mind is just it's just ridiculous. It's
that
ridiculously
guy.
powerful. Cause like
Yeah,
during COVID, he trained it in his garage. He had somebody come over and hold pads for him, and then the rest he just did by himself. And it was just like, we've talked about this before, how training on your own isn't necessarily, a good idea. I
right.
think, you talked about the lack of having someone there to correct you. To
Mm-hmm.
me, it's hard to train when you're by yourself. It's hard to train martial arts when you're by yourself. It kind of because one of the things is like, okay, I'm training for war, training here with my brothers for war. And when you're by yourself, it just kind of it it's difficult, bro. It's difficult to keep your mind strong and to stay
Mm-hmm.
motivated.
Right, that's the main thing. It's the
Yeah.
motivation. You don't have people saying, not cheering you on, but just like, hey, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Keep going, keep going. Don't
Yeah.
don't stop, don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Because that culture, that kind of atmosphere, it does help. That it really does push you to that next level. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have that person, which it's not impossible to get it by yourself. It's not impossible. It's just it's
If you can
different.
do it, it probably makes your mind very strong.
Yeah, like even when I'm running, man, like and I'm getting tired. I just repeat certain sayings to my head
Yeah.
in my head, and I make it through. You know what I'm saying? But so you can definitely dig deep. But I get definitely exactly what you're saying because I remember like one of the few times I was training with this one dude, and like we're doing like this thing on the bag, and like he pushed me to a level that I didn't know I could go. 'Cause he just kept like he kept don't stop, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like and I'm thinking like, yo, I should have been done like 10 minutes ago, and we're still going like, and it just pushes you to a next level, man, that you didn't know you had sometimes. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
so it's a real thing. It's definitely a real thing. But Max Holloway, man, he is just built different, bro. Straight up. I mean, and the fact that you said after two or three, and you're like it's done, like your foot, you're not able to, like. I mean, bro,
I mean, they have to be good ones.
yeah, yeah. Like you mean solid, good, and you
Yeah.
absorbing everything. Like you're
Yeah.
absorbing the whole kick. You didn't check
Yeah.
anything. It's just going straight to it. Yeah, I get what you're
Hmm.
saying. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that's why I said like for the average person takes a kick like that from Gaethje or any probably real
You won't
MMA
walk correctly
fighter. You're
for
you're, you're not walking. You're not
for
going to be
a
walking. You're
week.
going to be immobile. Yeah, you're going to be immobile
You won't
for
be
certain.
walking correctly,
Yeah.
or you can't because it
It
hurts too
probably
much.
yeah. I probably say most people probably wouldn't be able to walk. You know what I'm saying? For at least a good couple days, I would say. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think I've never even absorbed a real crazy kick. Like I said, I just checked a little kick, man. I'm like, damn, that thing hurt a lot. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, and I can only imagine someone full force throwing it at you, and it hitting your thigh, it hitting your calf. I mean, God, damn,
Yeah.
bro, like
I
it'd be
mean,
different.
I think I take them well just because of I don't. I'm lighter on my feet.
Mm,
Like when you're putting your full weight on those kicks, like on your front leg,
mm.
the kicks hurt more. Like
Okay, okay.
the kicks hurt more.
So if you're light
Because
on your
it's
feet, or
almost
if you're on your toes, you'll absorb it better. Type of
yeah,
things that you're saying.
that's
Okay.
why in Muay Thai, like you see that their stance, like how they like bounce that
Oh
front leg a
yeah,
lot,
they
and they're
got
very
that like
light.
this. Yeah,
Yeah, they're very
they keep
light on
bouncing
that
that.
leg. They're very
Yeah,
light
yeah,
on that front leg
right.
because the more weight you put on that leg while it gets kicked, like the harder the more it's going to land, like the harder it's going to land. Because if
Mm.
you think about it, like it's just like it's going to be more solid. Like you putting your leg down like
Right.
that, it's
Yes,
going to be
it's gonna
more
be. It's
solid.
right. It's gonna be
It's going to land
more of a
harder.
static state. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And it's not gonna
yeah,
be able to. If you can move it, the movement is gonna absorb the kinetic energy versus you
hmm,
kicking a tree and the tree don't move at all, but your leg is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
damn, that's a good point, man. That's a real good point. Who has the best kicks in the UFC? Would you say?
Oh, Adesanya.
Okay, let me not ask it that. Ask it like that. Who has the most powerful kicks that you've seen just
For
mess
their
people up?
for their weight class.
I guess pound for pound best kicker type of thing.
The best kicker is definitely Diaz for me.
I see. I don't. I mean, I know, and I can definitely agree with you. But what I mean is like kicks that just like you see just destroy people. Like that, they take one or two and they start, they fall down. Like what I'm saying, they fight get stopped type of thing. Like that's what I mean. I don't mean like strategic wise. Obviously,
Mhm.
we know,
Oh,
you know,
I mean, Edson Barbosa's a really good kicker too.
isn't that that's the Brazilian dude?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Edson Barbosa is good.
Welterweight, right? Is that
No,
welterweight?
lightweight.
It's lightweight. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have seen him fight before. I have seen him
Mm-hmm.
fight before. Um. Yeah, man. I mean, kick it. I mean, the thing about these sports, these combat sports, is things evolve. So they get to a certain, like, I mean, like if you said 20 years, 30 years ago that a fighter would be able to be undisputed in two weight classes, people would say you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But that just happened 2 Saturdays ago. That Bud Crawford just made history being the first male a boxer to become undisputed in two weight classes. That's
Wait,
eight.
currently,
Yeah, well, not well. He became
or
one.
did he, or
He
did,
he
or
was
he just became
he,
undisputed both times?
yeah, he was undisputed at 140,
Mm-hmm.
and then he moved up to 147 and just became undisputed there. That's never happened before. That's never happened before in history. You know
So
what I mean?
yeah, so he vacated the 140 belts.
Yeah, vacated the 140 belts years ago, right? Moved up to 147 about I think 7 years ago or something like that. I don't know how long ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and he beat Errol Spence for three belts, and he had the fourth belt, and he became undisputed, man. I mean, it's such a rare thing to become undisputed in general, right? Only a handful of
Crazy.
people have, because you got to get four belts, bro. It's not just one belt.
Yeah.
It's not just two belts, right? It's four belts you got to collect. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a rare thing for people to be undisputed, and for you to do it twice just shows the levels. And I told people this, man. If people were watching our streams a year ago, man, I told people, man, Terrence Crawford has a level of seriousness that you have to respect. And if you haven't been around it, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna see it, right? He has a level of seriousness that when he says something, you should probably believe it. You know what I'm saying? You should
Hey,
probably believe it.
he said a lot of people didn't take him seriously.
Yeah, he said. And what is so crazy is that Bud was stronger than Errol. He was
Yeah.
pushing him off him. He was landing heavier hit. I mean, it just surprised me so much because you've never seen Errol Spence the bully be bullied, right? By the technically the smaller dude.
Mm-hmm.
Bullied, bro, being pushed off his square, being pushed off balance. I mean, we can't listen. Give Bud all the credit. People talking about how Errol stayed at 154 too long. No, no. They're talking about how he wasn't the same after the car crash. No, everyone in the world saw Errol Spence come back after that car crash and beat up on Danny Garcia, one of the best fighters at welterweight. Then he proceeds to put a beating, breaking the orbital bone, breaking the ribs, and breaking the nose of Ugas. You
Mm-hmm.
know, last year. Last time I checked, he was in that car accident. He was in that car accident 4 years ago. So no one was saying that he was different in these two last fights. The only difference is that he was facing Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford is that guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only. People keep on saying this. Oh, this. And don't get me wrong. I think Errol Spence did. To me, I don't know if you probably didn't watch the whole build up, like as far as like the walk in and before the fight a little bit, but he did look high. I will
I
say that.
who Earl
Errol Spence
Spence?
looked high. Yeah, he looked high. He looked high. His eyes were very glossy. He just didn't look. He didn't look. He looked
Weed.
abnormally.
Weed.
I think he looked. Yeah, he looked like he smoked. He looked like he smoked.
Okay.
Looked like he
Yeah.
smoked
I
earlier.
mean, probably just for his nerves, bro. Some people, you know, it just depends on how much you do. But probably just relaxed him, made him
For
happy,
sure.
bro. Because I remember now I can't do it because it makes me anxious. But I just remember, bro, I used to do that shit, and it would be like I just didn't care like about any or just didn't have any anxiety about anything.
Mhm, mhm,
Like it
mhm,
just made me. It made me honestly, bro, be able to look at all my issues optimistically. That's
Right.
what it used to do.
Hmm.
So he was probably, he gets high and then he's just like, if I lose, man, who cares, bro? Like,
And that's the thing, that because that could be dangerous. Also, at the same time, it's comforting,
I
right?
mean, it
Because
depends on who you are. I
yeah,
think
it
it depends
does.
on who you are, because some people need that because they get two in their heads.
I agree. I agree.
You
I agree.
know, but then I do believe that if you're already if it
If you're
ain't
already
broke, don't
accepting,
fix it.
yeah, if you're already accepting the defeat, then you've already
Well,
lost.
I'm saying that like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like if you don't need that, then you don't do it. But some people need it to calm their nerves.
Yeah, man. He looked high. He looked high. I'm not saying he
Yeah.
was high, but he looked high. He didn't look normal, right? But that's no excuse though. Terrence Crawford. I don't think any version of Errol Spence at 154 or 147, because the way that he lost was because he makes certain mistakes. He has certain habits, and we saw Terrence Crawford's style capitalize on all the mistakes that he makes. He sits forward too much. He leans forward too much. He's very front heavy, right? He doesn't bring his hands back when he throws. He's always looking for the
That's
next
bro.
punch.
You saying that was very like yeah, because that's how Crawford was able to land his jab all night.
Yeah. All and bro, it was a pistol jab. It was a pistol. That jab was hard because Terrence Crawford is a natural righty, right?
Yeah.
So
So
he'll
yeah.
he'll right. So his southpaw stance, he switches to southpaw so that his jab is fucking dynamite. He'll
Hmm.
just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
That's
how
what
I
I've
fight.
noticed that too.
Yeah, he just was yanking that thing out there, and then Errol Spence's head was going back. You know what I'm saying? And he took Errol Spence's jab away from him, right? Which they knew that was going to be the game plan, was to jab out, was they wanted to control the jab. You know what I'm saying? And man, it was ugly. It was ugly. It was ugly. It was ugly, man. Um, but Errol Spence, like I said, man, what Errol Spence has done to people, we can't forget. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he has just put beatings on people. But no, these guys aren't Terrence Crawford. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. He lost to the best. He lost to the absolute best. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's any slight on him there, man. A lot of people hating on him, a lot of people making fun of him, but I think we really need to stop this toxic behavior, because this is why we don't get the best fights. Because
Hmm.
when you build up this dude so much, he ends up losing, and everyone starts to clown him. Well, but why don't we respect him for going out and giving us the best fight he could? You know what I'm saying? Why are we turning him into a meme? And it's his own community, black people. A lot of I mean, it's everyone, but a lot of it is, it should be coming from black people specifically, because again, if we're saying that we want to support him, but as soon as he loses, everyone turns on him. It's trash. It's trash,
Yeah.
bro.
No, I mean, I agree.
You know?
My thing is, bro, like this is just how the internet is, man. It's
It
just how
is.
the internet is.
It
Most
is.
people can never ever get to the level that he's at. There's a Jamaican saying, bro. I don't know if you've heard it. It's called. I was literally thinking about it today, bro, because I was on the game. I was playing with this guy, right? And we were playing Apex, and I played with this guy, right? And he was on my team, and he died, right? He
Hmm.
died early in the game. He got chopped up by somebody, and I came back and I killed two people, and the other guy killed the other dude, and I was just like, okay, and so I got his banner, and which because you could get someone's banner and then respawn them. So I went and I respawned him, and like he didn't have a mic, but he just typed in all caps because you can do that. He just typed in all caps on the game. He was just like, y'all ass. And I'm just like, bro. And then he said, y'all ass. And then he left the game. And I was just like, bro. And because he said, y'all ass. I was just like, boy, who you talking to, bro?
You're the
You
one dead,
died.
right?
Like, stop
Right.
talking to me. Don't talk to me, boy. Like, you dead. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you died, boy. And I went and raised you. Like, stop talking to me.
Rage from the
And
dead.
exactly. And he left the game, and I was just like, wow, I didn't, what a, ban. I'm gonna let you, decipher that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
I was just like, yo, whatever. And the thing is, it's crazy because if we had three people, we would have won. Because I ended the game with like 1,000 damage or over 1,000 damage, and still. But basically, the whole point I'm trying to make is that there's this old Jamaican saying, and it goes, "Empty barrels make the most noise."
Mm, mm. Empty
Mm,
barrels make the most. I haven't heard of that one. Empty
yeah,
barrels
man.
make the most noise. That's a
Yes.
bang right there. That's a bar.
Yeah.
You know.
Because
You know.
it's the idiots, bro. It's the idiots who have you know who have no knowledge, but also who are not fulfilled,
Hmm.
who
Empty barrels. Yeah.
are going to talk the most because they want to bring people down to their level, bro.
Right.
They just want to bring
Exactly.
people down to their level.
They're just waiting. They're just waiting for that loss,
Exactly.
and they're waiting for that L to be taken so that they can now they can clown you for it, and now they can bring you try to bring you down to their level. But
Hmm.
you have to remain solid and realize that you're not on their level. You're much higher.
Much, much higher.
And you're right. That is a internet type of sensational thing that does
It's
happen with
very
people,
prevalent.
and it's very prevalent. But it just hurts me to see this is how we treat the fighters, and this is the reason why we don't get. This is why they don't want to fight the best fighters. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, my
you know,
thing. I mean, I understand you, but I don't think that's the
right.
excuse.
I don't think no. Well, I don't think that's like the main reason, but I think this is a reason why we don't really get them because number one, okay, you have Deontay Wilder, right? Deontay Wilder was the WBC champion, had 10 title fights, right? Now at this time, Tyson Fury went off on his own, right? Went off on his own, was depressed, was on a coke binge, right? Had been suspended for PEDs, wasn't able to fight in the UK, and at the time he was regarded as one of the as the best heavyweight in the world, right? He beat Klitschko, right, and then he retired, or no, he stopped boxing, and Deontay Wilder said, "Hey, get me the best, whoever they say the best, get me him." And he pulled him up from the depths of hell.
Yeah.
Most people never even heard of Tyson Fury until he fought Wilder, right? Even though he was still regarded as the best heavyweight because he beat the best, right, at the time, right? Now, fast forward, um, Deontay Wilder loses. They fight to a draw first, which most people think, and the referees already said that he gave him a long count, right? And then they
Hmm.
fight the second fight. He gets cheated, in my personal humble opinion, which the evidence is out there. They have a third fight, and he loses another long count, but he loses the fight. And people continue to just clown the man when all he was trying to do was provide us with the best fight, the best fighting the best. This behavior is clowned. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop this
Hmm.
as a culture. People, we need to stop clowning these fighters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see dudes making videos of Errol Spence when he was getting, demolished by Terrence Crawford. They make the voiceover. I don't like it, and maybe it's partly because we've actually been in the ring, right? So we know what
Hmm.
it takes to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're not at that level, but we've been in the ring. We've been hit in the face. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We've taken shots. You know what I'm saying? I know what it feels like to be punched in the face. I know what it
Most
feels like
people
to
won't
be
do it, bro.
no, no. I know what it feels like to be nervous. You know what I'm saying, when you're about to spar someone that you never sparred before or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I know the feeling. So for someone to get in the ring and face someone that they said that has been regarded as the best fighter in the world, nothing but respect. Nothing but respect. And you know what I'm saying, we got to give these guys their flowers when they're here today, straight up, because if we don't and we leave this distasteful ass thing, I'm telling you, we're not going to get good fights. Because look at Tank. Tank has still yet to fight a level fighter. Tank Davis has still yet to face an A-level fighter. But you know what I'll say? From the way that people are clowning our fighters, right? The fighters that try to dare to be great, I don't blame him. Because what happens when he loses the fight? Maybe it won't be as embarrassing because you probably won't get knocked out or anything like that, right? He'll probably get outboxed by some of the top dudes, but they're gonna clown him. They're gonna say he never was nothing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as long as he keeps up this illusion of fighting dudes that may be able to knock him out or may be the one to stop Tank Davis, he'll be able to make this money. His manager said this. He said he'd rather be on the Forbes list than the pound for pound list. Because what does the pound for pound get you? Brain damage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And who really appreciates you? A very small percentage of fans,
Of people who know
of
what the hell is going
people.
on.
Exactly. So like I actually stopped asking for Tank to fight the best. I don't blame him. And if he doesn't do it, I won't, I mean, I'll be disappointed, but I won't be mad. I'll
Yeah.
understand. Because
It's really just the culture of boxing, bro. Because like you don't get disrespected for losing in MMA.
in MMA you don't. You
And
don't. You don't.
by other fighters maybe, but the only thing
Right.
that you get disrespected for in MMA is honestly the thing that a lot of people do in boxing where they when they duck, like when
Right.
they're clearly
But
ducking
it's
fighters.
right. But then it's very hard to duck in the UFC, right? It's very. I mean, if you have to fight someone, you
Yeah.
got to fight someone, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
know.
bro, it's the closest thing to a real fight. I don't know, only warriors are respected in UFC.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
or in MMA, excuse me. But if you, dang, I did the thing I hate.
What?
Oh my God, I called it UFC, dude.
Oh
Holy
shoot.
crap.
Oh, this dude out here
Bro,
hitting. Yeah. Uh huh.
yeah,
It
but
happens.
in MMA, bro, it's only the warriors, man. It's only warriors that are respected. You don't get respected for and if you back out of a fight, like a lot of times in boxing, if somebody backs out of a fight, they almost don't talk about it. Like even the opponent doesn't really talk about it because it's just like they almost take a sigh of relief, bro, because one person is always gonna lose their O, bro.
Yeah. 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 I mean, so
So it's just
there can
like
only be
it's
one.
whatever.
There can only be
Exactly.
one. You know.
Exactly.
So, and I'm sure there's a lot of nerves, but at the same time, I agree with that, right? And I do think there is a level of nerves that do probably go away. But at the same time, these guys are warriors too, right? They want to fight. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
They want to fight. They these guys do want to get in and rumble, right?
yeah.
But I think nowadays it really is something to think about, where you don't want to become a meme. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, maybe, right? I mean, I would assume everyone's their it's human nature, right? You don't want to be
Mhm.
laughed at. You don't want to be clowned by the whole world. So I'm assuming this gets implanted into their psyche, and I'm assuming this does have a factor to it. But these guys are warriors. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they do love the they love the feeling they get when they fight. So obviously that's why they do it. Obviously, other than the money, but that's why they do it. Um, so it's one of those things, man. But I think, yeah, man, I think we just need to show more respect and that's why I'm not, again, like I said, that's why we need to put respect on Errol Spence's name, because although he wasn't able to do, he didn't put on the best showing that we thought he would. Um,
Mhm.
we still can't. It doesn't erase all the things
We
he's accomplished before.
we need a pro boxer to say the things that we're saying. Like we need someone who actually has, you know,
Reach and
poise and
uh,
power, and honestly, someone who has lost before or someone who's winning. We
yeah,
need both. We need
yeah,
people to say that to be like, you need to stop worrying about whether or not you're gonna lose because it's killing the sport. It's
it's
literally
killing the
killing,
sport. It's
literally
killing the
killing the
sport.
sport. It's
Yeah.
selfish, bro.
Hmm.
It's really it's selfish if you think about it because just like you hold up fights from people who deserve it. Like, like
Hmm.
you look at how Canelo would not fight, Charlo or
Yeah.
um
Yeah. Hmm.
or who else? Who else did he duck?
He didn't want to fight Charlo. He didn't want to fight Boo Boo Andrade. Um, and
He
then
doesn't want to fight Better BF.
he, come on, that's not even a fight. Better be
He
able to,
doesn't.
better be able to knock him out smooth within 3 rounds.
What is Better BF is in light heavyweight or is he a middleweight?
He fought at light heavyweight. What's his name? Canelo did. He fought in the same division, but I
Yeah,
don't think he would ever get in the ring with Better Be.
no, the Better
And I
BF
don't
is.
blame him. And I think everyone has a limit, because bro, he's our size, going up to 168, 175. That's
I
amazing.
mean, it
I mean,
is,
but
and Better BF has knocked out everybody he's fought.
everyone,
Every person.
100% KO. And you know what's crazy?
Mhm.
Um, Tank or sorry, Bud has the second highest KO ratio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's like 91 or something. Or
Shoot.
no, yeah, he's knocked out. He has 40 fights, 31 knockouts.
Oh, wow.
30, and he's only gone the distance after becoming a champion
Yeah.
3 times.
Canelo's is like 62. It's 61.9, I believe, or
Okay.
62.9. I have
Yeah,
to
he's
look.
probably got like what, like 40 knockouts,
39.
39 knockouts. Yeah. I think also, the reason why Canelo was able to go up that high is because I do think he's juicing as well. I mean, well, what am I saying? Think he has been caught for PEDs already, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's another factor to why he was able to go up so much higher. But
Mhm.
regardless, nonetheless, it is still very impressive that a dude that could fight at 135 if he shrunk down, could go up to 168, 175. That's impressive, right? Um, but he has everyone has limits.
Mhm.
Everyone there's also weight classes for a reason, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, Canelo he ducked some people, man. He didn't want to fight certain people, man. That's always going to leave a bad taste in my mouth
Mhm.
because again, he literally had a belt made for him to duck Charlo. Literally a franchise title, meaning that you don't have to fight your mandatory. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what happens when you let these young guns get older and they start getting experience. They want to come take off your head when you're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? This is why I always said, man, I would rather fight someone when they're young. When they're green.
Yeah.
That of course it could backfire on you, but at the same time
I mean,
you have
that's what
more
Floyd did
chance.
with Canelo. I mean, Floyd was old at the time,
Floyd
but he
was
did.
old, man. Yeah, I mean, but the thing about Canelo is he was already proven. He had already proven himself. He beat some of the really good guys.
Mhm.
He had beat at that time Erislandy Lara, right? Which me personally, I thought Erislandy Lara won that fight, but then he beat um, Austin Trout, right? But you know what's crazy, right? Canelo or Floyd told him to do these things. He said, "All right, you fight him, you beat him, then we can fight." And Canelo did it. Canelo did it, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? But we know. I don't think any version of Canelo could have beaten
Yeah, I don't.
Floyd. You know what I mean? It's the
Yeah.
style matchup. He has slow feet. He's limited. Yeah, I think the weight obviously would have. Floyd's not going above 154, right? Right. But I mean, it's the style
Yeah.
matchup.
I mean, Floyd's just gonna dance around anybody.
Yeah, it's too much, man. I mean, people want to compare Bud versus Floyd. I think Floyd would have beat him, because it's the style matchup. Terrence Crawford is a counter puncher.
Yeah.
He does very well if you are trying to hunt him. Now, what do you do with someone just trying to outbox you? Just trying to do essentially not because Bud is going to try to kill you. He's going to try to hurt you. But Floyd, he's not really worried about that. Bud would get frustrated.
But you hurt
I
yourself.
think he's going to let you hurt yourself. Essentially, he's going to let you do what you want to do, and he'll adjust and he'll find your openings. I don't think anyone would have. I mean, in his prime, obviously no one is unbeatable. But I mean, shoot, he retired undefeated, so but I think that this see people got to realize it's a style matchup thing, and that's why Errol Spence lost the way he lost because it's a style matchup. The style was perfect for Terrence, perfect,
Mhm.
tailor made. You know what I mean? So that's how that one goes. But you know,
I want to ask you about something else. What do you think, man, about this Bradley Martin guy?
who is this Bradley Martin guy? He sounds familiar. Who is this person?
It's the bodybuilder. He's
Oh,
he's talking to Devin
Devin Haney, and he told him
and
he would
Nate.
beat him up. Yeah,
And Nate.
yeah. What exactly what was part?
Uh,
Like, what do I think about those
he
two
said,
interviews?
yeah.
Um, I agree with it for the most part because bodybuilders, bro, dudes that are that big, they have never been punched in the face like that. I mean, have you seen the videos, bro? Big ass dudes, they try to fight, they get
Hmm.
touched on the chin, and they actually like they get knocked down, they get knocked out. So I don't know how he fights, or I don't know if he does have any experience in fighting, but I know all that muscle doesn't really do you any good in a real fight. Other than if you catch Devin Haney, or if you catch, I probably Nate. nowadays maybe, but Nate 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if you get him close, he's probably gonna do some real damage to you. But Devin, if you catch him and you hold him and you make sure he can't move, okay. But if you don't get close enough to him and he's just gonna get off on you, who knows, bro? Devin can maybe drop him. I'm telling you,
Sure.
you know what I'm saying? Like we've seen videos of big ass dudes get dropped by a slight punch, not even big punches. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
all that muscle doesn't really do you too good in a real fight. Sorry to break it to you. You know what I mean? For people that are, that want to don't get me wrong, work on your body, right? But if you think you're gonna be out here beating people that can actually fight because you're big, you're gonna be sadly mistaken. You know what I'm saying? You catch someone
Mm.
good, bro. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Someone that don't really
Yeah.
got a chin like that. I mean, taking hits develops your chin, no? Right? It gets you used to getting hit.
I mean, it gets you. It makes you expect it, but like the more you get hit, the weaker that's gonna become. You can
Oh,
only
the
take so
wicked.
much.
True.
So, like
True.
you want to know how to take a shot,
Right.
but
Rather than
like
be completely oblivious and,
yeah, I mean there's
having your
this
chin up.
thing. Yeah, I mean there's this thing called the blood-brain barrier, and a lot goes into it. It's not just it's how much have you been hit, and I think to a certain extent, um, yes, like just like bro, like how do you sharpen a knife? Like you rub it up against something, but
Hmm.
then eventually, it can keep if you
The material goes away. Or
yeah, exactly, exactly. That
okay.
was actually a perfect way to put it. I didn't know how to end that analogy, but you helped me.
Hmm.
But yeah, bro, the material is going away over time. Is it? But like you just a lot goes into it. There's the blood-brain barrier, and that's why guys are more likely to be knocked out when they're more dehydrated because
Okay.
the blood-brain barrier it gives you cushion essentially.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, like, when you are more dehydrated, like, you lose that water that's between
The brain
your
and
brain and your
the
skull, and
skull. Okay.
it makes it easier to knock you out, because you're
Jeez. I
more
didn't know that.
dehydrated.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Um,
Okay.
and also, Chuck Liddell, I believe, who was the one who coined the phrase being chinny,
Being
because
chinny. And what does that
yeah,
mean? Obviously, like it means.
chinny just means like
Does it mean the blood brain thing or?
no, that's about your actual chin. Like that's
Okay.
about
Oh,
you
okay.
being
That you've been weak
yeah,
chinned and you just
yeah,
can,
because
yeah.
just over time,
Hmm.
like you just
Okay.
can get knocked out easier.
Jeez, man. I like like Amir Khan, man. I mean, Amir Khan used to be a bad man, but he gets excited, and he has a glass chin. And dude I mean, he'd be dominating the fight up until he gets knocked out. It was one of
Glass
those type of
cannon, bro.
fighters. Yeah,
Glass
yeah.
cannon, like we talked
Well,
about last time.
yeah, but that's more. Well, explain that term again.
That just means like a fighter who does not have good
Oh, okay.
defense. Who's a
Right. Yeah.
very good
Yeah.
offense, but a bad defense. Like they're
Yeah.
just as
Yeah.
likely to get knocked out as they are to knock someone
Knock
out.
someone out. Yeah, that's Amir Khan. Except he
Yeah.
didn't really have too much. He'll stop you. He'll stop you because he's overwhelm you. But yeah, that's perfect example because man, you should watch him versus Canelo. Man, he was beating Canelo. He was beating Canelo, and Canelo was getting frustrated, and Amir Khan got lazy, kept it. Didn't bring his hands back quick enough, getting lazy. What I'm saying, getting comfortable, and boom, Canelo comes over the top with a shot, knocked him straight out. Look, you got to watch that fight. You got to
Gruesome.
watch that fight. Yeah, it was ugly. It was to the point where Canelo came back to him and prayed down, like kneeled down to him and like looked very worried. It was ugly, but yeah, man. I mean, you gotta have defense, man. You gotta have defense. You gotta bring your hands right back.
Very important.
Very important in boxing, very important in MMA, very important in any combat sport is defense. To be defensively responsible. And again, styles do make fights, guys. I mean, it's just give Errol Spence's respect. I'm saying at the end of the day, he's a warrior. They are gonna have a rematch at 154 in
Yeah.
December. I don't think he should do it, but I'm not. Who am I to say he shouldn't get his chance to get some get back? Um, you know, but
Yeah. What if he got stopped twice?
that's bro. That's probably what's gonna happen. That's probably what's gonna happen. He's
What
probably
does he
gonna
have
get
to change?
his whole style.
He has to
I
set
mean,
traps.
seriously, bro. I mean, no, but even if he sets traps, he has to number one get faster. Number two, don't be flat footed. Number three, don't be front heavy. Number four, I mean, he literally has to change his style. It can be done, I guess, but I mean, he's
Hmm.
been fighting like this
Yeah,
for
no.
how many years, right?
Yeah,
So
styles
I
make
mean,
fights.
styles make fights, man. I mean, I mean, I wish he could make it more competitive by just little tweaks, right? I mean, I wish it was like, okay, he made this mistake. Let's go tweak. Let's go clean it up. It's literally his style is tailor made for Terrence Crawford. I had always thought that, but until I saw the fight, I knew for sure it really was tailor made. It's just a bad style up matchup, man. And I don't think any amount of training is going to change his habits to the point where he's going to be able to beat Terrence Crawford. But stranger things have happened in the sport, right? So we just got to really just see, right?
Hmm.
But we just got to see, man. But
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
we'll wrap it up here. We will be back. I believe Sunday. We'll talk about the Sean O'Malley versus Aljo Sterling fight and some more things. Anyways, you already know what it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you want us to talk about fights. Let us know any fights you want us to watch, and we will break it down for y'all. Again, Mel Knight Sports. You already know what it is. Peace out.